Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And today we're talking about food. Food, things to eat and drink, especially if you're really hungry after being at school all day long or being at work all day long. You want to find a restaurant and chow down.
Yeah.
And, of course, today we're not really talking about a specific food. We're talking about maybe an additive or a spice or a flavoring that can make the food you already eat quite tasty. And that spice is called vanilla.
I love vanilla. Do you like
vanilla? Valuable vanilla.
Not only eat vanilla, I put in lots of things. I also have vanilla-scented candles. I love this smell, and I light them for my apartment. Makes it smell really good. Also makes me kind of want to eat some ice cream, I'll be honest, which is dangerous. But, I love this smell. Do you like it?
I certainly do. Vanilla is one of those smells that you either love it or you hate it. I think most people are fine with it.
It's also in perfumes. A lot of perfumes have vanilla.
It's not like durian, which is a very strong smell. Some people like it. Most people hate it.
Horrible.
I think most people actually like vanilla. This is also a good lesson for me because, as a student of Chinese here in Taiwan, I've always mixed up vanilla and coriander. Coriander can also be called cilantro, but one is 香菜 and one is 香草. I always get them mixed up, but vanilla is 香菜. No, I'm wrong again. I mixed them up again. No, vanilla is 香草 and coriander is 香菜. They're actually quite different, but again, the one we're talking about today is vanilla, the flavor that's in ice cream a lot and in perfume.
Love vanilla ice cream.
So we will talk about this in today's lesson. So let's get to it. Let's talk about very valuable vanilla right now.
There are all kinds of vanilla products, from ice cream and cookies to perfume. Have you ever wondered what vanilla is and how we get it, though? Vanilla comes from a special orchid plant. The first people to farm vanilla were the Totonac tribe of eastern Mexico. In the 15th century, the Aztecs acquired vanilla when they conquered the Totonacs. Vanilla first made its way to Europe after the Spanish invaded the Aztec Empire. Vanilla was mostly used as an ingredient in chocolate until the 17th century, when a servant of Queen Elizabeth I of England created vanilla-flavored desserts that the Queen loved. By the 18th century, the French were using vanilla in ice cream. Although it doesn't cost a lot to make synthetic vanilla flavor and fragrance, natural vanilla is the second most expensive spice after saffron. The vanilla orchid only flowers once a year, and farmers must pollinate each one by hand. It takes about 9 months for the flower's bean to become ripe, and then it's cured and aged for 1 to 6 months. Each step involves a high risk of failure, and the time from harvesting the vanilla to selling it can take up to a year or more. Vanilla is mostly used as a flavoring in foods, but it has many other uses as well, such as being a fragrance in scented products. It even has health benefits. Herbal vanilla tea can ease sore throats and upset stomachs. The next time you eat something flavored with natural vanilla, take a minute to appreciate this very special spice.
Okay, the time has come for us to explain the contents of today's lesson. The title is Very Valuable Vanilla. All those words start with V. And people here in Taiwan sometimes have trouble pronouncing the letter V. Sometimes you hear people say, hey, let's go to KTV and do some singing because V is hard to say. It is hard to say. It's a f and a together, a voiced F sound. V. Very valuable vanilla. Okay, so let's talk about very valuable vanilla in today's program. There are all kinds of vanilla products from ice cream and cookies to perfume. So indeed, vanilla produces all sorts of different products. There is a range of products using vanilla. Products, of course, are things that you can use, things that consumers use. Okay, they can drink them, they can eat them, they can buy them, they can rub them on their body, they can use them to help their lives, they can wear them, etc., etc. So we've got all sorts of products that are made from vanilla, and these products include ice cream, vanilla flavored ice cream, the white one.
Yeah.
And also vanilla cookies, and also you can have perfume. Now that's one I didn't know, probably because I'm a man, because we don't use perfume.
They don't put vanilla in men's cologne, don't worry.
Yeah,
it's
they
only
wouldn't
in
do
women's.
that. If men have vanilla cologne, they'd probably think he's kind of strange or something.
Maybe he's a baker.
Yeah, I think most women would probably stay away from a man who's got vanilla perfume. But in any case, perfume is usually that scented oil that women wear to make them smell nice.
Yeah, it could be a liquid. I have a bottle of perfume that I spray on. But yeah, a lot of different types of perfumes. That's just one of the ingredients. It usually isn't the main ingredient, although it could be. Vanilla comes from a special orchid plant. I didn't know that. This is very interesting because, of course, Taiwan is famous for their orchid plants. Orchids are so difficult to keep alive in America. You need a lot of humidity. I remember I just thought they were pretty, and I bought one for my mom for Mother's Day one year. We live in Arizona, at least she did, and it died almost within a week. So it doesn't work very well. So I love seeing the orchid plants here. They're just really beautiful. We typically see them when they're opening a new store, a new business. People will song these beautiful orchid plants, but they are very difficult to grow. Now, here it says vanilla comes from a special orchid plant.
Orchid, yeah. I get this flower mixed up with lotus flowers.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm a man, and men don't like flowers. We're supposed to be macho men.
Yeah, but
men
a lot of
like
times, you remember in high school we had the prom.
Right.
The guys were supposed to give you a corsage, which is a flower that you pin on or put on your wrist.
Yeah, but we just went to the flower shop.
It almost always was an orchid, though. Orchids are popular.
Could be. It's probably a good idea to know your flowers, but in any case, an orchid, that's the lanhua in Chinese, and then lotus is the lianhua. Maybe that's why I mixed them up, because lan and lian sound similar to me. Of course, there's Orchid Island off the coast of Taiwan, named after orchid flowers, but vanilla comes from a special orchid plant. And the first people to farm vanilla were the Totonac tribe of eastern Mexico. Of course, there were lots of Indian tribes, First Nation tribes living in the Americas before the white people arrived. And this tribe was there in eastern Mexico. Of course, they're probably wiped out by the Aztecs or by the Spaniards or whoever, but they are the first ones to cultivate it. They actually grew it and then took the beans and made them into things that they could use.
Yeah, I love that the writer here used the verb to farm. I think that's a great way. We usually use farm as a noun, but obviously you can use it as a verb. You farm it. So it gives you this idea in your mind that they're growing a lot of crops. It's not just one little plant inside someone's house that they're growing. They're farming it. So in the 15th century, that's the 1400s, the Aztecs acquired vanilla when they conquered the Totonacs. So they kind of went to war and they beat them. So they got to take over the farm crops of vanilla. So that's how they acquired something. If you acquire something, you can buy it. Maybe someone passes away and they leave something to you. That's another way to acquire something. So you either buy or obtain something from either a store or some other person. So they acquired vanilla when they conquered the Totonacs. So they conquered them, meaning they went to war and the Totonacs weren't as powerful, weren't as strong. And so the Aztecs were able to overcome and take control of them and all of their belongings.
And they probably totally wiped them out, or at least the Totonacs were assimilated into Aztec culture.
They started marrying other Aztecs.
Right, they intermarried and stuff, so eventually they just disappeared, which probably didn't make much difference in the end anyway, because then the Spaniards Spaniards came and took over everybody. But in any case, vanilla has survived, and vanilla first made its way to Europe after the Spanish invaded the Aztec Empire. So again, you got the Aztecs taking over the Totonacs, and then the Aztecs were taken over by the Spaniards. So Spain invaded the Aztec Empire. If you invade, of course, you take a very large army and you go into an area and you conquer that area. You take it over. The Spanish invaded the Aztec Empire. They took it over, and then they had New Spain and Mexico as a result.
Yeah, you'll often see these two verbs together when you're reading about history. First, a group of people will invade another country, and then they'll conquer, which means they'll win that battle because, of course, that other country they've invaded, they don't want to surrender. They don't want to give up, so they fight. And the winner is the conqueror, is what we call them. That's the noun. So we've got vanilla here was mostly used as an ingredient in chocolate. Think about chocolate without vanilla. It's not quite the same. Some smart person put those two ingredients together. I love them forever for doing that. So when a servant of Queen Elizabeth I of England created vanilla-flavored desserts, the queen went crazy. She loved them. She thought this is the best thing ever. And I think from that point, that's vanilla started being incorporated or being added to a lot of dessert-like food instead of main dishes. You don't often see vanilla put into a main dish. It's kind of gross.
Or it can't really eat it by itself either. It's probably too strong, so it's always got to be used as a spice in something.
Right.
So again, as it says here, they used it in chocolate, and then they started using it to flavor other things, like maybe vanilla cake or pie. And in the case of the French vanilla ice cream, which of course is a very popular flavor of ice cream all around the world.
Hey, can I mention something here?
Yes, please.
Notice here we've got a queen, and her name is Queen Elizabeth, and then it looks like a 1 or an I.
Sure.
When we say this out loud, guys, you have to say Queen Elizabeth the First. Yeah, the is not in there, but that's how it's read out loud, just so you know. We've got a lot of kings and queens. You have to kind of learn how to read their names out loud. It's different if you're reading it silently. No one cares.
What's the Queen Elizabeth now? What number is she now? Do you know? You probably should know after the royal wedding there.
Yeah, but they never call her, Queen Elizabeth II or whatever. They just say Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, something, but usually they have several, one after the other.
Yeah.
So it's 1, 2, the first, the second, the third, etc., etc. And this particular queen in the 17th century, boy, she loved vanilla-flavored desserts. And then the French, of course, as I said, started using vanilla in ice cream. You know, that brings us about to the midway point in our explanation for today. Let's take a break now and listen to our Chinese teacher.Hello
everyone, my name is Tina. 今天要介绍的主题是 vanilla, 也就是香草。那么从第二段开始就要介绍香草到底是从哪里来的，又是怎么取得它呢？在第二段的第一个句子提到 vanilla comes from a special orchid plant. 它其实是来自于一种非常特殊的兰科植物。讲到植物，当然就要想到种植这件事情咯。按照时间的顺序，那么我们可以选择第一个空格的是 F 选项。Sentence F 里面提到The first people to farm Manila were the Totonac tribe of eastern Mexico. 那么第一批呢，种植这个香草的民族是在墨西哥东部的这个称之为 Totonac 的部落民族。那么搭配文意，从前面提到香草是一种植物，然后提到第一批种植它的人，搭配文意，第一题的标准答案就可以选择 F 选项。后面的句子延续说明 In the 15th century, the Aztecs acquired vanilla when they conquered the Totonacs. 到了15世纪的时候呢，阿兹提克人征服了这个族群，取得了香草，然后呢，也就因此呢，这个香草就传入了欧洲，延续这样的文意。第二题我们可以选择 B 选项。Vanilla first made its way to Europe after the Spanish invaded the Aztec Empire。首先是这个 Toltec 族群种植香草，然后呢，阿兹提克人呢征服了这个族群，然后西班牙人又侵略了 Aztecs， 然后就取得了香草，也就因此传入了欧洲。你可以看得清楚，在第二段就是叙述香草是怎么来，然后如何传入欧洲。所以搭配时间的顺序，第二题标准答案我们就选择 B 选项。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. We're talking about lovely vanilla, which really has a wonderful scent and taste as well. I like the scent and the taste of it. Love it, love it, love it. Before we broke for a break, we talked about Queen Elizabeth I. Can we say before we broke for a break? I think you can say that.
It's weird, but I guess you can.
We're going to break right now. Oh,
the irony is very ironic. You could say that.
It's kind of funny. But we were talking about how to say Queen Elizabeth I, and Tom said, is the current Queen Elizabeth, is she the second? I didn't know, but I looked it up. She is indeed. She's Queen Elizabeth II, although we never call her that these days. It's just Queen Elizabeth.
She's been around for a long time, but again, we're talking about vanilla and not so much about queens. Now, although it doesn't cost a lot to make synthetic vanilla flavor and fragrance, natural vanilla is the second most expensive spice after saffron. Saffron is fang honghua, I believe.
That really bright yellow color.
Yep, it's very expensive, and I did not know this, but natural vanilla is the second most expensive spice after saffron. So saffron's the most expensive, and vanilla is the second most expensive spice. And again, we're saying that, yes, it doesn't cost a lot to make synthetic vanilla, or at least synthetic vanilla flavor, but still vanilla is the second most expensive spice. Now, synthetic, means artificial.
Right, I was going to say that, artificial. When I grew up in Arizona, which is close to Mexico. We share a border. We used to go over the border and buy bottles of Mexican vanilla because it was stronger in flavor. It was still artificial, but it was stronger in flavor than what we could buy, at our grocery store. I can't remember the brand of...
El Azteca, maybe?
No, not that Mexican brand. There's a brand in America. They make all these spices. It's fine, but
Tones,
if you can...
maybe? Or
I can't...
McCormick or something?
McCormick, maybe McCormick. But anyway, the Mexican bottles of vanilla, boy, those were good. So we're talking about how expensive it is. Why is it so expensive? Well, it's tough to grow. Look at the process. The vanilla orchid only flowers. That's when it blooms. It flowers. You could say blooms there too. Once a year, and farmers must pollinate each one by hand. Usually plants are pollinated by bees that go from one to another. But here the farmers must do it. So it's, I would say, labor intensive, which means it takes a lot of people working hard to get something done. So they have to do it by hand.
Right. Some of our neighbors in our community pollinate their holongo. I don't know how to say that in English. They pollinate the plants by hand because I guess they can't rely on the bees to do it for them. So they have to be pollinated by hand. You just kind of move some of that pollen from one plant to the other, fertilizing it or whatever they call that process. I'm not sure. But
I think it's fertilizing.
It takes about 9 months for the flower's bean to become ripe, and then it's cured and aged for 1 to 6 months. So again, this is part of a very complicated process here. It takes about 9 months for the flower's bean to become ripe. That's a long time. So again, you pollinate the flower, and then the flowers come out only once a year, and then that takes about 9 months for the bean to become ripe. And if something's ripe, that means it's mature, it can be used, it's developed to the point where you could actually use it, and then after that, you can't eat it right away. You've got to cure it, which means you kind of preserve it, maybe by adding salt to it, or smoking it, or drying drying it out or something like
that.
They
definitely dry them, yeah.
Yep. So it's cured, and then it's aged. You have to wait a while. Just like wine is aged for a long time before you can drink it, maybe 2 or 3 years or so before it can be good. And in this particular case, they have to age it for 1 to 6 months. So it's a long process.
Yep, so each step involves a high risk of failure. So each step along the way, it's very easy to mess everything up and destroy that plant. So it's you got to be really careful as you're doing it. When you are talking about risk, guys, you're in a situation where there's potential danger or something harmful can happen. Here the risk is actually ruining the plant. And the time from harvesting the vanilla to selling it can take up to a year or more. So the process is really not only delicate, where you have to be very careful, but it's very time-consuming. To harvest means you go out into the fields and you bring in the crops that you've been growing. Maybe you've been growing corn, so you go and harvest the corn, bring in the corn. Here, it takes a whole year to come up with some vanilla. That's crazy, huh?
It is. So it's a long process. I'm sure they have other plants growing at the same time, but still it's very complicated. And as a result, vanilla is quite expensive. Now let's move on to the final paragraph now. Vanilla is mostly used as a flavoring in foods, but it has many other uses as well, such as being a fragrance in scented products. Now, I did want to mention that most of the time, food is a non-count noun. How much food did you eat? How much food did you buy? But if we're talking about different kinds of food, and if you're talking about companies that produce it, we do see the word food as a countable noun, different types of food. So it's used in different kinds of food or in different foods. It's used as a flavoring, which means it gives that food an extra flavor, extra to what it already has.
Yeah, special taste, yeah. But it has a lot of other uses as well, such as being a fragrance or a scent in scented products. Scented products would include... We have these bags we call potpourri bags where it's just filled with dried flowers and different sorts of scents. And you can put them in your sock drawer or in your closet. I have a friend who sends me potpourri every year. I love that stuff. Also, I mentioned the vanilla-scented candles that I love. There's even a company here now from America called Yankee Candles, Bree Center, that I can finally get my vanilla candles again. They're not cheap, but boy, are they wonderful. And they last quite a while.
Are they made from real vanilla or artificial
Probably
vanilla?
Artificial. So it even has health benefits. Tom, talk about the health benefits.
Okay, let's talk about some of those health benefits. Herbal vanilla tea can ease sore throats and upset stomachs. So if you drink the tea, which is herbal tea, vanilla is an herb, it's a spice. So anytime you use an herb or a spice in tea, it's called herbal tea. So this is herbal vanilla tea. You'll also hear people say herbal tea. That's equally correct. Although
but they're British, probably.
Yeah, Americans tend to not pronounce the H there. Herbal vanilla tea. If you drink it, it can kind of take care of your sore throat. If you got a sore throat and you drink some herbal tea, vanilla herbal tea, oh, it feels so much better.
Yeah.
I can talk again. Also, I feel like I'm going to throw up or something. Maybe if you drink herbal vanilla tea, it can ease your upset stomach.
Cool. So that's one thing you can do. Try some herbal vanilla tea. The next time you eat something flavored with natural vanilla, take a minute to appreciate this very special spice. If you appreciate something, you really recognize that it's great. Or maybe somebody has done something nice for you. So you can say, instead of saying thank you, you can say, wow, I really appreciate your help. Oh, I appreciate that you took some time to do this for me. But here it just means you really recognize the worth of something, the value of something. We also will talk about how sometimes items will go up in price and we'll say it's appreciating. It's going up in value. So just take a minute to really enjoy that vanilla ice cream that you might be eating just about now.
My mouth is watering already. I can hardly wait.
Yeah.
Let's get this program over with so I can head out and get some vanilla-flavored products. But hey, before we finish our lesson for today, we need to hear once again from our Chinese teacher.
接着第3个空格是第3段的一刚开始，我们来看一下它后面的句子写着 The vanilla orchid only flowers once a year and farmers must pollinate each one by hand. 提到呢，这个香草的这个兰花一年只开一次花，农夫呢必须要用人工的方式一株株的呢去做授粉。后面还提到它成长呢是非常的辛苦，还要做许多的加工处理。一整段的文意来看到，第3个空格是这一段的一刚开始的句子，也就是这一段的主题句。它要说明的是什么呢？这么辛苦才可以得到香草，可见它应该是非常昂贵的。第3题搭配文意，我们可以选择 C 选项。Sentence C 提到 Although it doesn't cost a lot to make synthetic vanilla flavor and fragrance, natural vanilla is the second most expensive spice after saffron. 在这里的文意是说到，虽然要做合成的香草的这个味道跟香气呢并不太贵， synthetic 是有合成的意思，不过天然的香草呢却是仅次于 saffron 番红花之后第2个最昂贵的香料。那么搭配后面的文意提到它要用人工授粉，而且呢在开花之后呢还要花上9个月的时间才会成熟等等复杂的过程，也就用来说明这个香草是非常昂贵的一种香料了。搭配文意，第3题的标准答案我们可以选择 C 选项。第4个空格前面就提到 It takes about 9 months for the flowers bean to become ripe, and then it's cured and aged for 1 to 6 months. 在这个豆荚成熟之后呢，还要再经过1到6个月的加工处理跟熟成，才能够真正的使用这个香草。你会发现搭配这样的文意，第4题我们可以选择 E 选项。Sentence E 提到 Each step involves a high risk of failure, and the time from harvesting the vanilla to selling it can take up to a year or more. 每一个步骤前面提到是人工授粉，然后再去熟成等等，每一个步骤都包含了很高风险，有可能会 failure 失败。而且呢，从采植一直到去把它贩售之间，可能会花上1年或者是更久的时间。所以第4个选择 E 选项就可以用来总结前面所提到的每一个辛苦的步骤。接着来看到最后一段，那么这里提到它有很多香草的用途。第5个空格后面的句子提到Herbal vanilla tea can ease sore throats and upset stomachs. 这种香草的这个药草香草茶呢，可以让我们的喉咙如果痛的话，或胃部不舒适的话，都可以舒缓这种疼痛跟不适的感觉。那么有这样的句意，第5题我们就可以选择 A 选项。这里提到 It even has health benefits。这里的 it 当然指的就是 vanilla 香草呢，甚至有一些健康的疗效、健康的效益。第5题就选择标准答案 A 来搭配后面提到它可以呢舒缓我们的喉咙的痛或者是胃部的不适。 OK， 以上就是今天的课文讲解，谢谢收听。
That is it for today's program. It's been so much fun having you with us, but I have to admit, I'm glad the program is over. I'm glad you're all going away because I'm heading out to get some vanilla-flavored ice cream. I can hardly wait. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.